Hello, welcome back, dreamer. I hope you really enjoyed the story. If you want to support the channel and join our little community, think about becoming a member. Under a sky brushed with silver clouds, imagine a river flowing backward through a sleeping valley, carrying forgotten hours like leaves in twilight. It's like a scene straight out of a dream, right? Just picture it. The gentle sound of water, the soft rustle of leaves, and the feeling of time slipping away. It's those moments that make you pause and appreciate the beauty around us. What do you think? Isn't it magical? Now, if you're new here, the invitation is always open to drift with me down a quiet river from a time long gone. This story is called The River That Carried Time, and it tells of a place where the waters ran in reverse, collecting forgotten moments and guiding wanderers gently back to themselves. So breathe softly and let the story begin. In a valley where the sun rose slow and the moon never hurried, a wide river curled like a sleeping serpent, flowing not toward the sea, but gently back into yesterday. In this valley, the river Morava was known to only a few. It carried no fish, no ships, and no rush-only moments. Birds flew quietly above it, and the wind tiptoed on its surface. Some say the river was born from a forgotten tear of the moon. One day, an old scribe named Luma came to the river's edge. She had spent her life writing the histories of others, but never her own. Her satchel was full of empty pages. She sat by the river, unsure of why she came, until a soft voice rose from the current. Cast one page into the flow, and it will return with what you have lost. Luma hesitated, then released a page. It spun on the water, glowing faintly, and returned to her hand. With writing she did not remember a memory from her childhood, when she first saw the stars and felt they knew her name. Each night she came back to the river, casting another page. Each time a forgotten piece of her life returned. The scent of rain on stone, a lullaby from her mother, the way it felt to dance barefoot in the orchard before her voice grew quiet. She saw others come, too drawn to the river in their sleep. One was a gentle man who had once sung to the sea but forgot the tune. Another was a quiet painter who lost her colors in grief. Once, a blind deer came drinking, for it was said that the river's water changed to moonlight when the moon was full, and only then could the deer drink without fear of shadows. They never spoke, but they all understood. Luma, with a smile older than sorrow, began to fill every page with the rediscovered light of her own soul. One night, when her pages were full, Luma stood. She bowed gently to the water and asked, "How can I give back what I do not possess? How can I repay what I never owned?" The river rippled. "You are more than any tale you tell," the water whispered, "more than any life you've lived or will leave behind. You are the sum of all your moments, and your story is now whole." Luma looked down at the pages, each one a piece of herself returned, and realized the truth. She placed the book at the river's edge, letting the water claim it, and stepped forward. The others watched as she walked into the river, knowing it was not to vanish, but to become part of the current. The river welcomed her, carrying her gently away from the shore and toward the heart of the valley. There, beyond the reach of time and memory, the river Morava flowed into a hidden lake, nestled deep within a cave of mist. Its waters pooled into a single drop, suspended in air, held by the light of 1,000 stars. When she reached it, Luma understood. This was not an end, but a beginning. The drop of moonlight welcomed her in, and she became part of the whole, a single teardrop glistening on the face of the sleeping moon. And so it was that Luma found peace, and in time, so did the others. When the moon is full and the world is still, the river Mirava is said to hum softly, with the stories of those who remembered themselves before sleep. And now we wake. As the river recedes, the moment passes, and we are left with the echoes of a forgotten dream. If you enjoyed this story, please remember to show your support. And with that said, here's a quote from the story to carry with you until next time. You are more than any tale you tell, more than any life you've lived or will leave behind. You are the sum of all your moments, and your story is now whole. And on that note, I think it's time to close our eyes once more and drift into the peaceful slumber of a dreamless night. Sweet dreams, my friends, and until we meet again, may your own river of memory flow gently and brightly in the quiet hours before sleep. Sleep well, dreamer. As the first rays of sunlight began to tint the sky with gold, a young girl awoke in a meadow, bathed in the soft glow of dawn. She stretched lazily, feeling the warmth of the sun on her skin and the softness of the grass beneath her. As she sat up, she noticed a small crowd of animals gathered around her, staring at her with curious expressions. There was an old, wise owl with feathers that seemed to shimmer in the morning light. A sleek black cat with emerald eyes sat gracefully beside him, and perched on a nearby rock was a majestic white stag with antlers that crowned his head like a pair of polished silver combs. The animals had been watching over her while she slept, ensuring her safety and waiting for her to awaken. "Why are you here?" the girl asked, her voice filled with wonder. The owl hooted softly, his eyes twinkling with ancient wisdom. "We have been watching over you," he replied, "guiding you to this place of peace and tranquility." "But why?" the girl questioned, her brow furrowed in confusion. The black cat stepped forward, her emerald gaze intense. "You are in danger," she purred, "and this place is where you must stay until the full moon." The girl's heart raced with a sudden surge of fear. "What danger?" she exclaimed, her voice trembling slightly. The white stag lowered his head, his voice resonating with power and gentleness. "There are forces beyond your understanding that seek to harm you," he explained, "and this meadow is your sanctuary until the full moon." As the animals began to recount the tales of the mystical meadow, its protective powers, and the mystical creatures that inhabited it, the girl couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and excitement mixed with her fear. Despite the danger that lurked outside the meadow, she knew she was in a place of magic and enchantment. As the day wore on, the girl spent her time exploring the meadow, discovering hidden paths, babbling brooks, and enchanting groves. She made friends with playful fairies, wise tree spirits, and gentle talking animals. All the while, she couldn't shake the feeling that something powerful and dangerous was lurking just beyond the meadow's protective embrace. Days turned into nights, and the girl's fear began to grow. With each passing hour, she longed to be free of the meadow's confinement, but knew that doing so would endanger her life. Just when her spirits were at their lowest, the animals gathered around her, their faces etched with determination. "It is time," the owl hooted, his voice echoing with finality. "The full moon is tonight, and the meadow's protection will fade at its light." The girl's heart pounded in her chest as she realized the gravity of the situation. Tonight, the forces of darkness would seek to harm her, and the meadow's magic would no longer shield her from their grasp. With newfound resolve, the girl stood tall, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the full moon rose high in the night sky, bathing the world in its ethereal glow, the girl felt a surge of power course through her veins. The meadow's magic had faded, but in its place, she discovered a strength and resilience she never knew she possessed. Hand in hand with the animals, she ventured beyond the meadow's borders, stepping into a world that was both terrifying and exhilarating. As the night deepened, the girl faced trials that tested her courage, wisdom, and compassion. But with each obstacle she overcame, she grew stronger and more determined to forge her own path in the world. Through it all, the animals remained by her side, offering their guidance, support, and unwavering friendship. And as the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, the girl emerged from her trials, forever changed by her experiences. The meadow may have faded from existence, but the bonds she formed and the lessons she learned would stay with her always. The story of the girl and the mystical meadow is such a beautiful reminder, isn't it? Even when life feels heavy and dark, there's always a glimmer of hope shining through, waiting for us to grab onto it. Think about it, just like that girl who found strength in herself. We all have that power deep inside us, ready to be uncovered. When we open our hearts and let curiosity guide us, we can dance through life's ups and downs with grace. It's like finding a hidden path in the woods that leads to a sunny clearing. So, let's embrace the magic around us and keep pushing forward, no matter what challenges come our way. Thanks a ton for tuning in and watching my video. Your support means the world to me.